you are being lied to. You have been sold a myth that the grind is the key to wealth. That team no sleep builds empires. That being exhausted is a badge of honor. This is a lie. The truth is, your pride in overwork is the single biggest bottleneck to your 10 times income. It's not about working harder, it's about recovering smarter. In the next 90 minutes, I will dismantle this myth and give you the blueprint for strategic recovery. You will learn why the wealthiest performers are not the ones who outwork everyone. They are the ones who out-recover everyone. Do not click away. Subscribe to this channel right now. That is your first protocol. Then commit to the next 90 minutes because the information in this audiobook is the price of admission to your 10 times income. Your exhaustion is costing you millions. Your strategic rest will build your empire. Before we begin, a mandatory notice. The content in this audiobook is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It reflects a specific philosophy on wealth psychology, not direct financial advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor. The ideas presented here are principles for mindset development. All investment carries risk, and you are solely responsible for your own decisions. Always consult with a certified professional before making any financial moves. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The grind is a financial trap. Let's begin by dismantling the biggest lie ever sold to you. The lie is that the grind is noble. That hustle is the prerequisite for wealth. That 80-hour work weeks, constant exhaustion, and team no sleep are badges of honor. You have been conned. Hustle culture is a marketing scheme. It was designed by people who profit from your labor. It was popularized by gurus who sell you courses on how to work harder, not smarter. They tell you to sacrifice your sleep, your health, and your mental clarity on the altar of the grind. And you bought it. You wear your exhaustion like a medal. You compete with your peers over who is busier. Here is the truth. Busyness is not a badge of honor. It is a sign of strategic failure. You are busy being poor. You're just a cog in someone else's machine. You're often preoccupied with low-value tasks that seem productive but aren't profitable. You are addicted to the motion of work, not the results of leverage. You are busy being a technician, not an owner. This entire audiobook is built on one premise. Your financial success is not correlated with the hours you work. It is associated with the quality of the cognitive decisions you make during those hours. And high-quality decisions are biologically impossible to make when you are fatigued. The grind is a trap. It's a high-interest loan on your future success. You are borrowing from your mental and physical capital today, and the interest you will pay is catastrophic. Bad decisions, burnout, and a permanent cap on your income. Think about it. Who really benefits from your 14-hour day? Is it you or is it your boss, who gets 2 employees' worth of output for 1 salary? Is it the social media platform that profits from your rise and grind post while you're too tired to notice your portfolio is stagnant? They are profiting from your compliance. They have convinced you that being a good little worker bee is the same as being a future king. It is not. You don't need their permission to execute your plan. But the plan they sold you, that is the trap. The plan they sold you is to confuse motion with progress, to confuse feeling productive with being effective. Let's be clear. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. And most people are executing a plan for financial mediocrity. They are stuck in a loop. They work hard, they get tired. When they are tired, they make poor strategic decisions. They focus on the urgent instead of the important. They stay busy. They lack the mental energy to step back, think, and build a system. So they have to wake up tomorrow and do the same low-value, urgent work all over again. That is the grind. It is a hamster wheel. Busyness is not a badge of honor. It is a sign of strategic failure. Let's look at the 2 types of entrepreneurs. First, you have the 80-hour entrepreneur. Let's call him the grinder. The grinder makes $100,000 a year. He is proud of this. He claims to work 80 hours a week. His calendar is a solid block of red. He answers every email within 3 minutes. He takes every phone call. He fixes every small problem. He is the chief firefighter, the chief technician, and the chief bottler of his own success. He is in the business. He is the business. He has no time to think. He has no time to read. He has no time to step back and ask, is this entire business model even correct? He is too busy grinding. He will never be a multimillionaire. He can't. He has no time. He has no cognitive leverage. He is trading his time for money, and he is running out of time. He is exhausted. His business runs him. Now let's look at the 30-hour CEO. Let's call her the strategist. The strategist builds a $10 million company. She works around 30 to 40 focused hours a week. Her calendar is 50% empty. This is intentional. She defends this space with her life. What does she do in those 30 hours? She does not answer routine emails. She does not take inbound calls. She does not fix small problems. She does 3 things. 1, she thinks. 2, she builds systems so that the business runs without her. 3, she hires people smarter than her to run those systems. Her entire job is to make 3 or 4 high-quality decisions per year. Should we acquire this competitor? Should we launch this new product line? Should we cut this division? These are $10 million decisions. You cannot make a $10 million decision at 9 p.m. on a Thursday when you've been in back-to-back meetings for 12 hours. You cannot see the opportunity when your brain is foggy with fatigue. The grinder is playing checkers. The strategist is playing chess. The difference is not work ethic. The grinder works harder. The difference is leverage. The strategist's entire model is built on cognitive leverage, and cognitive leverage demands a rested, recovered, sharp mind. That's the key to long-term wealth. You are busy being the grinder. You are proud of it, and it is costing you your 10 times future. You think you're being disciplined. You're not. You're being lazy. Yes, you heard me. Busyness is the ultimate form of laziness. It is lazy to just do the next thing on your to-do list. It's a waste of time to check your email inbox all day, constantly. It is lazy just to keep your head down and work hard without asking the big, terrifying questions. The real work, the hard work, is strategic thinking. The hard work is saying no to 99 good opportunities to say yes to one great one. The hard work is sitting in a quiet room with no phone and thinking about your business model for one unfiltered hour. That is the work that builds empires. And your addiction to the grind is your procrastination from that work. Your cognitive bandwidth is your single most valuable asset. It is your primary capital. You have a choice with your capital. You can invest it or you can squander it. When you spend 12 hours a day on low-value, reactive tasks, you are squandering your cognitive capital. You are liquidating your greatest asset for pennies on the dollar. You are too tired to build wealth. So look at your calendar for the last week. How many of those hours were spent on $100 an hour tasks? Answering emails, managing small details, doing repetitive work. And how many hours were spent on $10,000 an hour tasks? Strategic planning, designing systems, building new assets, learning a high-value skill. Be honest, you are probably 95% in the $100 an hour zone. You are trapped, and the only way out is to reject the myth of the grind. You must stop seeing rest as a weakness and start seeing it as your primary strategy. The grind is a financial trap. It's a dead end. Busyness is not a badge of honor. It is a sign of strategic failure. You are busy being poor. You have to make a choice. You can keep grinding, keep bragging about your exhaustion, and stay exactly where you are, stuck at your income ceiling. Or you can decide to become a strategist. You've now learned why the grind is a liability. It's time to learn why recovery is your single greatest asset. It's time to learn how to harness the power of rest. Let's move on. Chapter 2. Your recovery is your highest yielding asset. You've been taught that your assets include stocks, real estate, and cash in the bank. You are wrong. Your primary asset, the one from which all other wealth flows, is your brain. More specifically, your ability to think clearly, make sharp decisions, and maintain emotional discipline. That is your number one asset, and you are letting it depreciate to zero every single week. You treat rest as a luxury, a reward, something you'll get to after the work is done. You are treating your most valuable asset as an afterthought. We must change this right now. From this moment forward, recovery is no longer a passive activity. It is an active investment. It is not a suggestion, it is a protocol. It is not a luxury. It is your single highest yield financial strategy. You don't get paid for the work, you get paid for the quality of the work. And quality demands recovery. Let's look at the highest performers on the planet, professional athletes. Do you think a $300 million quarterback just grinds 24/7? Do you think he's celebrated for getting 4 hours of sleep before the Super Bowl? Number, he is fired. A professional athlete's job is recovery. His career, his contract, and his entire net worth depend on it. They have teams of specialists who manage their sleep, nutrition, hydration, and mental state. Why? The reason is that the team isn't paying that athlete to practice. They are paying him to perform at his absolute peak for 3 hours on game day. His recovery is his performance. You are a cognitive athlete. Your game day is not on a field. It's in a board meeting. It's on a sales call. At 9:31 a.m., when the market opens, you must decide whether to sell or hold. It's 2 p.m., and you're about to negotiate a $1 million contract. Your brain is your stadium. You're showing up to your game day exhausted, dehydrated, and foggy, and you wonder why you're not winning. You have to make the shift. You are not a factory worker paid by the hour. You are a knowledge worker paid for your judgment. Stop valuing the hours and start valuing the output. You don't get paid for the work, you get paid for the quality of the work. Quality demands recovery. Let's talk about this in terms you understand. Let's talk about ROI. Return on investment. You meticulously track the 8% return on your stock portfolio, but you ignore the 1,000% return from a single night of high-quality sleep. The grinder from Chapter 1 works 12 hours and, in a state of fatigue, makes a $50,000 mistake. He ships the wrong product. He insults a client. He misses a critical detail in a contract. The strategist works 6 focused hours after 8 hours of sleep. In those 6 hours, her clear, rested mind spots one opportunity, one new system, one strategic partnership. That one decision generates $500,000. Who is wealthier? It's not about the time spent. It's about the quality of the decisions made within that time. That's the key to long-term wealth. Your cognitive capital is like any other form of capital. You have a choice with your capital. You can invest it, or you can squander it. When you grind, you are not investing your cognitive capital. You are liquidating it. You are burning your most precious asset for a tiny short-term return, the feeling of being busy. Recovery, on the other hand, is a high-yield investment. You invest 1 hour of intentional rest, a walk with no phone, meditation, or a power nap. What is the return? The return is 3 hours of hyper-focused, high-quality, deep work. The return is emotional stability, so you don't panic sell your index funds in a downturn. The return is the creative breakthrough that solves the problem your entire busy team has been stuck on for 6 weeks. You are an investor. It is time to start acting like one with your own mind. You wouldn't run a $1 billion piece of machinery for 80 hours straight without maintenance, oil, or downtime. It would break. You would call that negligence. You would call that stupid. So why are you doing it to the $1 billion machine between your ears? You are not a machine. You are a biological organism. You have limits. And performance is not about exceeding your limits. It's about managing them intelligently. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. You might feel like a hero for working late, but the execution is a failure. The execution is a C- proposal, a sloppy email, a missed opportunity. Your ego loves the grind. Your ego loves the validation of being so busy. Your bank account hates it. Your bank account wants the sharp, rested, strategic version of you. The one who says no to 10 low-value tasks to say yes to one high-value decision. This is the new rule. Your recovery is non-negotiable. It is not something you fit in. It is the first thing you schedule. You schedule your sleep. You schedule your downtime. You schedule your think time. You defend it. You protect it with the same ferocity that you would protect a wire transfer of your life savings. Because this is not soft, this is a strategy. The wealthiest, most successful people on earth are not the most exhausted. They are the most recovered. They have built systems to protect their energy and cognitive capital, knowing that these are the assets that build everything else. You don't get paid for the work, you get paid for the quality of the work. Quality demands recovery. You must see rest as a verb. It is an action. It is a discipline. It is the prerequisite for wealth. The grind is a trap. Recovery is the escape hatch. You've accepted that recovery is your greatest asset. Now I'm going to show you the precise biological cost of decision fatigue and how it's silently liquidating your financial future. It's time to look at the numbers. Chapter 3, the neurological cost of always-on decision-making. I want you to picture the CEO of your brain. This CEO lives in your prefrontal cortex. It's the small section of your brain right behind your forehead that is responsible for everything that matters to your wealth. It handles strategic planning, impulse control, long-term thinking, complex problem solving. It's the part of you that says no to the stupid purchase. It's the part of you that says hold during a market panic. It is the only part of your brain capable of creating and executing a 10-year plan. You're sending your CEO to work 18 hours a day without breaks, support, or sleep. Then you demand that it make million-dollar decisions for you, and you get angry when it fails. Let's be clear. Willpower is not a feeling. It is not a character trait. Willpower is a finite biological resource. Scientists call it decision fatigue. I call it cognitive bankruptcy. Every single decision you make, no matter how small, drains this resource. What to wear? Click. A small withdrawal. What to eat for breakfast? Click. A withdrawal. Answer this email or that one. Click. Politely listen to a coworker's complaint. Click, click, click. By 3 p.m., your CEO is exhausted. By 8 p.m., after a 12-hour grind, your prefrontal cortex is offline. It has shut down. And who is in charge of your decisions then? Your primitive brain. Your lizard brain. The part of you that is nothing but short-term emotion, fear, and impulse. And that is when you open your laptop to just check your portfolio. That is when you see a stock dipping and your lizard brain screams, panic, sell. That is when you see a crypto coin pumping and your lizard brain screams FOMO, buy, don't miss out. A fatigued mind cannot build wealth. A fatigued mind destroys it. Let's look at the evidence. One bad decision made at 8 p.m. in a state of cognitive fatigue can wipe out an entire year of your grinding. One poorly worded, angry email to your biggest client. One impulse trade based on emotion, not strategy. One yes to a bad partnership because you were too tired to fight. That is the cost of the grind. You work 500 hours to build $50,000 and you lose $100,000 in 5 minutes because your brain's CEO was asleep at the wheel. That's the key to long-term wealth. Understanding that the quality of your decisions is 100 times more important than the quantity of your hours. You are always on. You think this is a strength. It is your single greatest financial liability. You check your email before you get out of bed. Click. You scroll social media on the toilet. Click, click. You have Slack notifications pinging at the dinner table. Click. You watch TV while answering emails and half listening to your family. Click, click, click. You are never recharging the battery. You are starting every single day at 40% cognitive capacity, and you're wondering why you can't get ahead. A fatigued mind cannot build wealth. A fatigued mind destroys it. This isn't just about the big, catastrophic decisions. This is about the death by 1,000 cuts that is killing your net worth. Why did you order $50 of takeout again? You're not lazy. Your prefrontal cortex was too depleted to make the complex decision of what to cook and then execute the plan. So your lizard brain chimed in and said, just tap the button. Get the easy dopamine hit. Click. Why did you buy that $200 jacket you didn't need? You weren't bad with money. You were cognitively bankrupt after a day of meetings and your impulse control was at 0. Click. You are confusing a resource management problem with a character problem. You think you need more discipline. Number. You need more recovery. Discipline is a result of a rested brain. A rested prefrontal cortex has the energy to override impulse. A tired one is an impulse. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. And your fatigue is causing you to execute a poverty plan. You have a choice with your capital. Your cognitive capital is your most precious. Every moment you spend always on, you are choosing to squander that capital on low-value noise. The grinder lives in a state of permanent decision fatigue. His brain is a muscle that is always sore, always on the verge of tearing. The strategist treats her brain like a weapon. She sharpens it. She rests it. She protects it. She only uses it for the high-stakes targets. She does not waste $10,000 an hour of cognitive energy on $10 an hour tasks like arguing in an email chain. You need to start treating your brain like the asset it is. You need to build a fortress around your prefrontal cortex. You need to stop the constant withdrawals. Your always-on culture is not just a productivity myth. It is a neurological attack on your financial future. You are voluntarily downgrading your own brain. A fatigued mind cannot build wealth. A fatigued mind destroys it. You must accept this. Your grind is not building your empire. It is ensuring you will be too compromised, too tired, and too impulsive ever to make the hard decisions required actually to get rich. You are busy making small decisions, leaving you with no energy for the big ones. We have established the biological cost. You understand that your decision-making power is a finite, drainable resource. So, the logical next question is, how do you manage this resource? You've been told your entire life to manage your time. This is another lie. Time management is a scam. You cannot manage time. Time is fixed. It moves forward at the same rate for everyone. You must stop obsessing over the clock. The clock is not the variable that matters. It's time to stop managing time and start auditing your energy. Chapter 4. Stop managing time and start auditing your energy. For your entire life, you've been sold another bill of goods. It's called time management. You've read the books, you've downloaded the apps, you've tried the planners, you've learned to time block and eat the frog and Pomodoro your way to a packed, color-coded calendar. And you are still not wealthy. You are still exhausted. You are still behind. Here is the truth. Time management is a scam. It's a relic of the industrial age when a man's worth was measured by the hours he could stand on an assembly line. His time was the asset. Your time is not an asset. You cannot manage time. You cannot save, borrow, or create more of it. Time is fixed. It moves at one speed for you, for me, and for the billionaire you want to become. You all have 24 hours. The difference between you and the billionaire is not the clock. It's your energy. Energy is the real currency. Energy is the variable. Energy is the asset you can control, you can renew, and invest in. But you don't. You squander it. You must stop being a time manager and become a ruthless energy auditor. Stop counting the hours. Start making the hours count. Think of your mind this way. Every morning you wake up with a finite budget of high-quality cognitive capital. Let's say it's $1,000 of mental energy. This is the A-grade, premium fuel for your brain. Now let's audit how you spend it. You wake up. What's the first thing you do? You grab your phone, you scroll social media, click. You just spent $100 of your premium capital on $1 of dopamine. You check the news, click. You paid $150 on fear and outrage that has zero impact on your plan. You open your inbox and see 40 new emails. Click. You're flooded with other people's agendas. You spend $300 of your best energy reacting, deleting, and getting organized. It is 9:01 a.m. You haven't even started your work, and you are already 50% cognitively bankrupt. You then sit down to do your real work with the leftover scraps of your mental energy, and you wonder why you can't build your empire. You are bringing B-game energy to A-game problems. You have a choice with your capital, and you are choosing to spend your prime cognitive capital on mental junk food. The grinder focuses on time. I need to work 12 hours today. The strategist focuses on energy. I need 3 hours of peak, uninterrupted focus today. The grinder is proud of his 12-hour input. The strategist is obsessed with her 3-hour output. Stop counting the hours. Start making the hours count. It is time to learn the difference between $10,000 an hour work and $10 an hour work. $10 an hour work is reactive. It's answering routine emails, it's scheduling meetings, it's data entry, it's scrolling for information, it's putting out small fires. It feels busy, it feels productive, but it does not build wealth. $10,000 an hour work is creative. It's strategic planning. It's a new system designed to save you 10 hours a week. It's writing the sales copy for your million-dollar product. It's negotiating a high-stakes deal. It's learning a new high-leverage skill. It is the deep, focused work that builds assets. Here is the financial tragedy of your life. You are performing $10 an hour tasks during your $10,000 an hour energy window. You are using your best brain for your worst work. This is the equivalent of using a billion-dollar supercomputer to run a calculator. It is financial insanity. That's the key to long-term wealth. You must align your peak energy with your peak priorities. Here is your new plan. This is not a suggestion. This is your new operating protocol. Step 1. Identify your peak cognitive capital hours. For the next 3 days, you will monitor your energy levels, not your time. Every hour, write down your focus level on a scale of 1 to 10. You will see a pattern. For 90% of you, there is a 2 to 4 hour window, probably in the morning, where your focus is a 9 or a 10. This is your prime time. This is your $10,000 an hour window. Step 2. Defend that window with your life. This 3-hour window is now sacred. It is non-negotiable. You schedule it on your calendar as closed strategic execution. There are no meetings during this time. There are no emails. There are no phone calls. Your phone is in another room. All notifications are off. You are unreachable. You don't need their permission to execute your plan. You don't need to apologize for being focused. Your focus is what they will respect when you lap them. Step 3. Execute only $10,000 an hour tasks. During this sacred window, you only work on the 1 or 2 things that will actually grow your wealth. You build the system, you write the code, you create the asset, you solve the big problem. Step 4. Batch all $10 an hour tasks for your low energy window. All that busy work, the emails, the calls, the admin, that is now afternoon work. You do it from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. when your brain is tired and your peak energy is spent. You use your low-quality energy for your low-value tasks. This is energy accounting. It's not about what you feel. It's about what you execute. You feel productive when you clear your inbox at 9 a.m., but what you executed was a strategic failure. You feel like you're procrastinating on emails by waiting until 3 p.m. But what you executed was a wealth-building masterpiece from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Stop being a slave to the clock. The clock is a terrible boss. Start being the chief auditor of your energy. The grinder works 8 depleted hours and gets 8 hours of $10 an hour output. Total value $80. The strategist works 3 peak hours and gets 3 hours of $10,000 an hour output. Total value $30,000. She then rests for the afternoon. Stop counting the hours. Start making the hours count. You now understand what to protect, your energy, and you understand when to protect it, your peak cognitive hours. But this new plan will fail if you try to apply it to an old, broken framework. The 8-hour workday itself is a lie. It's a remnant of the assembly line. Your brain does not work like an assembly line. Now that you've mastered when to work, I must teach you how to work. It's time to destroy the myth of the 8-hour marathon. Chapter 5. The Fallacy of the 8-hour workday. Embrace the productivity pulse. You've been conditioned to worship a false idol. The 8-hour workday. This 9-to-5 structure is the most pervasive, destructive, and financially idiotic concept ever forced upon the modern worker. It was designed in the 1800s. It was built for factory workers. It was created to maximize the output of men pulling levers and shoveling coal. Their output was linear. More hours at the machine equaled more widgets. You are not a factory worker. You do not shovel coal. You are a high-performance thinker, not an assembly line worker. Stop working like one. You are a cognitive athlete. Your value isn't in your time, but in your problem solving. It's in your creativity. It's in your strategic insight. And the human brain, your brain, is biologically incapable of producing high-quality strategic insight for 8 consecutive hours. It is a lie. The grinder sits at his desk for 8, 10, or 12 hours. He believes this is work. What is he actually doing? He's staring at a screen. He's rereading the same email 6 times. He's multitasking, which is the scientific name for doing multiple things poorly at the same time. He's in a state of continuous partial attention. He is present, but he is not productive. He is at his desk, but he is not at his best. He is working, but he is not building wealth. He is marinating in mediocrity. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. He feels productive because the clock is ticking. He feels virtuous because he is grinding, but his execution is a failure. His output is a C-. It's diluted, sloppy, and uninspired. You must stop measuring your work in hours and start measuring it in pulses. Your brain does not operate like a marathon. It operates like a sprint. Scientific research shows that the human mind works in cycles. They are called ultradian rhythms. Your brain can maintain a state of high focus, high output performance for approximately 90 minutes. After that 90-minute peak, your performance plummets. Your prefrontal cortex, your brain's CEO, gets tired. It needs a break, it needs to refuel. But what do? You ignore the signal. You grab another cup of coffee. You push through. You are choosing to do your most important work with a compromised, depleted B-grade brain. You are choosing to be ineffective. You are a high-performance thinker, not an assembly line worker. Stop working like one. The strategist understands this. She does not work for 8 hours. She executes for 90 minutes. Then she recovers for 20 minutes. Then she executes for another 90 minutes. This is the productivity pulse, the 90-20 protocol. In one 90-minute, hyper-focused, distraction-free sprint, the strategist produces a volume and quality of work that takes the grinder 2 full days to replicate. Her 90 minutes are sacred. Phone off, email closed, door shut. It is her versus the problem. She is in a state of deep work. This is where $10,000 an hour insights are born. This is where systems are built. This is where the empire is architected. Then, at the 90-minute mark, she stops. Even if she's in the flow, she stops. Why? Because she respects biology. She is not driven by feeling, she is driven by protocol. And her 20-minute recovery is not work. She does not check her email. That is not rest. She does not scroll social media. That is not rest. That is just a different cognitive load. She detaches. She walks. She meditates. She stares at the sky. She hydrates. She lets her brain consolidate the information. She lets her prefrontal cortex recharge. She is a professional. The grinder is an amateur. The grinder works one 8-hour marathon and produces maybe 45 minutes of real, valuable output. The rest is just being busy. The strategist runs 3 90-minute sprints. She produces 270 minutes, 4.5 hours of pure A+ deep work. She is done by 3 p.m. Her output is 5 times the grinder's, and she is still fresher, sharper, and wealthier. That's the key to long-term wealth. You must stop being an amateur. You must adopt this protocol. You will be criticized for this. Your boss, who is still a grinder, will wonder why you're not online at 4 p.m. Your colleagues, trapped in the factory mindset, will wonder why you're taking another break. Let them. You don't need their permission to execute your plan. Your results will be your permission. Your results will be your defense. When your sales numbers are triple theirs, your strategic plan is the one that secures company funding, and your bank account reflects your output. All criticism will sound like applause. They are playing for attendance. You are playing for performance. This is how you get your life back. This is how you 10 times your income and 10 times your leisure time. You compress your high-value work into focused pulses, and you delete the low-value busyness that fills the rest of your 8-hour day. Stop being a resident at your desk. Be a surgeon. Get in. Execute the high-stakes procedure with precision. Get out. Recover. You are a high-performance thinker, not an assembly line worker. Stop working like one. Your entire day should be a series of these 90-20 pulses. Imagine 9 a.m. to 10, 30 a.m., sprint 1, strategic plan, 10:30 a.m. to 10:50 a.m., full recovery, walk, 10:50 a.m. to 12:20 p.m. Sprint 2, create core asset, 12:20 p.m. to 1:20 p.m. Refuel, lunch, no screens, 1:20 p.m. to 2:50 p.m. Sprint 3, system building, high value outreach. That is it. At 2:50 p.m., you have produced more real value than anyone in your office. You can either use the rest of your afternoon for low-energy admin or go home. This is the system. This is the new model. It's not about working less. It's about working right. It's about aligning your work style with your biology. This protocol is the engine, but this engine requires fuel. These sprints, this deep work, this high-level cognitive performance, it is incredibly energy-intensive. It will not work if you are running on fumes. You can't be a cognitive athlete during the day if you aren't a cognitive recovery expert at night. Your entire high-performance day is built upon one single non-negotiable foundation. It's the one thing the grinder sacrifices first, and it's the one thing the strategist protects most. It's time to talk about your primary compounding investment. It's time to talk about sleep. Chapter 6. Sleep is not a liability, it's your primary compounding investment. There is a sickness in our culture, an illness that worships at the altar of exhaustion. You've heard the phrases, you've probably even said them. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Team, no sleep. Rise and grind. You post about your 4 a.m. alarm clock as if it's a sign of your superior discipline. You boast about running on 5 hours of sleep. Let's call this what it is. It is not discipline. It is not a badge of honor. It is financial suicide. You are bragging about voluntarily making yourself cognitively impaired. You are celebrating the destruction of your number one asset. You think sleep is a liability. You see it as 8 hours of lost time. 8 hours you could have been grinding. This is the single most expensive, short-sighted, and amateurish mistake you are making. From this moment on, you will redefine sleep. Sleep is not a cost. Sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is not downtime. Sleep is your single most important, non-negotiable, compounding daily investment. Win the morning by winning the night before. Your wealth is built while you sleep. You are an investor. Let's talk in terms you can understand. The grinder looks at his 8 hours of sleep and thinks, I am losing 8 hours of potential work. He sees it as a withdrawal from his time bank. The strategist looks at her 8 hours of sleep and thinks, I am depositing 8 hours of compound interest into my cognitive bank. She understands that for 8 hours her brain is not off. It is working. It is running the most sophisticated maintenance protocol on Earth. While you are sleeping, your brain is not resting. It is consolidating. It is taking all the complex information you learned that day and storing it in your long-term memory. It is cleaning. It is literally washing out the toxic metabolic byproducts that accumulate throughout the day. This is the brain fog you feel when you're tired. Sleep is the janitorial staff. It is problem solving. Your brain is running simulations, connecting disparate ideas, and finding the novel solutions that your grinding conscious mind could not. How many times have you woken up with the answer to a problem you've been stuck on for weeks? That wasn't magic. That was your investment paying a dividend. Win the morning by winning the night before. Your wealth is built while you sleep. You cannot perform at the level of a strategist. You cannot execute those 90-minute deep work sprints if you show up with a depleted, toxic, foggy brain. Your grind on 5 hours of sleep is a joke. It's C- work. It's a performance of being busy. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. You feel tired from skipping sleep, but your execution is a disaster. Scientific studies are undisputed on this. A sleep-deprived brain has the same cognitive impairment as a drunk brain. You are showing up to your financial life drunk. You are making investment decisions drunk. You are negotiating contracts drunk, and you are proud of it. You are a terrible investor. You are squandering your capital. You have a choice with your capital, and you are choosing to set it on fire, night after night. Let's look at the financial impact. Your prefrontal cortex, often referred to as your brain's CEO, is the part responsible for discipline, and a lack of sleep cripples it. What takes its place? The amygdala, your emotional, reactive lizard brain. When you are sleep deprived, you are not you. You are a high-strung, emotional, impulsive gambler. You have no impulse control. This is why you buy the stupid, expensive thing you don't need. You have no emotional regulation. This is why you panic sell at the bottom of a market dip. You have no long-term vision. All you have is short-term fear and short-term cravings. You are biologically incapable of building long-term wealth when you are tired. That's the key to long-term wealth: emotional discipline. And emotional discipline is a biological product of a rested, recovered brain. The grinder sacrifices sleep for his work. The strategist knows her sleep is the work. She builds her entire day around her 8 hours of sleep. It is the first, non-negotiable block on her calendar. She has a shutdown protocol. An hour before bed, all screens are off. The phone is not in the bedroom. Why? Because the phone is a liar. It tells you it's relaxing for you. It is stealing your recovery. It is a vampire, sucking your cognitive capital through your eyeballs. You don't need their permission to execute your plan. You don't need permission to go to bed at 10 p.m. You don't need permission to turn off your notifications. Your grinder boss, who is still sending emails at 11 p.m., is not a hero. He is a fool. He is a high-functioning addict, hooked on the feeling of being busy. He is destroying his own assets. You will not follow him. You will build your bedroom into a recovery laboratory. It is dark. It is cool. It is quiet. It has one purpose: to maximize the ROI on your investment. This is the new rule. You are not going to bed. You are scheduling your primary cognitive investment. You are not sleeping in. You are allowing your assets to compound. This is not soft. This is the hardest discipline of all. It's easy to stay up, stimulated, distracted, and busy. It is hard to be disciplined, to shut the world out, to say no to the late-night email, to say no to one more episode, to say no to the grind. But the strategist does what is hard. Win the morning by winning the night before. Your wealth is built while you sleep. Your 4 a.m. alarm clock isn't impressive. Your 8 hours of consistent high-quality sleep are. Your 18-hour workday isn't impressive. Your 3 hours of laser-focused deep work fueled by that sleep are. Stop bragging about how little you sleep. Start bragging about how well you manage your portfolio, your cognitive portfolio. You've now accepted the biological necessity of sleep. You understand it's the foundation for your 90-minute sprints. Now, let's connect this internal discipline directly to your external results. Your portfolio is your actual bank account. It's nothing more than a mirror. It is a perfect reflection of your psychological state. A chaotic, fatigued, and emotionally charged mind always creates a chaotic, poor, and reactive portfolio. It's time to examine the hidden tax your fatigue is charging your investments. Chapter 7. The hidden tax of cognitive fatigue on your portfolio. Let's talk about your money. I don't mean your salary. I don't mean your paycheck. I mean your wealth, your assets, your portfolio, the money you are putting to work, the money that is supposed to be building your empire for you. You've done the hard work. You've grinded to earn the capital. You've opened the brokerage account. You've bought the stocks, the index funds, the assets, and then you lose it. Or you fail to grow it. You churn. You buy high, you sell low. You make 20% in 1 month and lose 30% the next. Your portfolio is a roller coaster of chaos, and it is stagnant. You blame the market. You blame the economy. You blame bad advice. You are blaming the wrong thing. The market is just a mirror. Your portfolio is not a reflection of the economy. It is a direct, brutal, and honest reflection of your psychology. And your psychology is a mess. Your portfolio reflects your psychology. A tired psychology always leads to a poor portfolio. You have spent the last 6 chapters learning how the grind is a strategic failure, how it destroys your cognitive capital, how it impairs your brain. Now I will show you the receipt, the invoice. The hidden tax of fatigue is the price you pay in your brokerage account for your undisciplined, unrested life. Let's look at the grinder's portfolio. The grinder works his 12-hour day. He is exhausted. His prefrontal cortex, the CEO, is offline. His emotional, impulsive lizard brain is in full command. It's 10 p.m. He's tired. He's stressed. He decides to just check his portfolio. What happens? A stock he owns is down 8%. His lizard brain screams. It doesn't analyze. It doesn't see a long-term buying opportunity. It doesn't remember the 10-year plan. It feels pain. It feels fear. And its only command is, make the pain stop. Sell. Sell now. So he sells at the bottom. He locks in his loss. A week later, the fundamentally sound stock rebounds 15%. He lost thousands of dollars. Not because he was a bad analyst, but because he was a tired one. This is the hidden tax. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. He felt scared, and he executed a poverty plan. A rested mind, a strategist, would have felt the same fear, but her rested prefrontal cortex would have stepped in and said, silence. This is noise. The thesis has not changed. We buy more, or we hold. We execute the plan. But the grinder can't do that. He is cognitively bankrupt. The next night, the same thing happens in reverse. He's scrolling through a forum. A new garbage asset is pumping. It's up 300% in 2 days. His lizard brain doesn't see risk. It doesn't see a bubble. It doesn't see an asset with no fundamental value. It feels envy. It feels greedy. It screams FOMO, FEAROFMISSINGOUT, WEAREBEINGLEFTBEHIND, BUYNOW. So he buys at the absolute top. The next day, the hype is over. The insiders dump their bags. The asset collapses by 0%. He is ruined. Again. This is the hidden tax. Your portfolio reflects your psychology. A tired psychology always leads to a poor portfolio. This is not investing. This is gambling with a tired, emotional, impaired brain. This is you sitting at a high-stakes poker table, drunk. You are giving your money away. That's the key to long-term wealth: discipline. Not white-knuckle discipline, but the calm, effortless, biological discipline that is the natural result of a rested, recovered, sharp mind. The strategist knows this. She treats her investment decisions with the respect they deserve. She does not check her portfolio at 10 p.m. She does not make any buy or sell decisions after 4 p.m. when her cognitive energy is low. She has rules. She has a plan, an investment policy statement. She only reviews her assets on Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. after 8 hours of sleep and a good breakfast. She does it with her peak brain. She reviews her plan. She reviews the fundamentals. She makes 1 or 2 calm, rational, strategic decisions. Then she shuts the laptop and goes to live her life. She is not trading on emotion. She is investing with a strategy. You are a reactor. You are a pinball, bounced around by every headline, every alert, every single 2% move in the market. Why? Because your always on grind has trained you to be reactive. You answer every email, you jump at every notification, you have zero capacity to be proactive. You have zero capacity to sit still and do nothing. And doing nothing, holding your assets for 10 years, is the hardest and most profitable financial strategy of all. It's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. But your tired, overstimulated, grinding brain cannot handle doing nothing. It craves the action of the trade. It craves the dopamine hit of doing something. So you trade, you churn, you fiddle, you optimize. And with every trade, you are taxed. Fees tax you. You are taxed by bad timing. Your own emotional, exhausted impulses tax you. Your portfolio is bleeding out, death by 1,000 cuts, and the wound is your fatigue. You have a choice with your capital. You can continue to grind and accept that the 10 to 20% fatigue tax will be skimmed off your net worth every single year. Forever. Or you can make the real investment. The investment is not in a new stock. The investment is in a new protocol. The investment is in your recovery. You want a 20% higher return? Don't look for a new asset. Look for a new bedtime. You want to stop making stupid financial mistakes? Stop living in a state of cognitive impairment. Your portfolio reflects your psychology. A tired psychology always leads to a poor portfolio. You have seen the cost. You have seen the tax. You have seen the why. You must be disgusted by the wealth you have voluntarily set on fire. You must be angry at the grind culture that has been stealing from you every single night. You are now ready to stop being an amateur reactor and start being a professional strategist. It's not enough to want to rest. Wanting is a feeling. We do not operate on feelings. We operate on protocol. It's time to stop hoping for recovery and start engineering it. It's time to build your recovery plan with the same precision and ruthless intention as a billion-dollar business. Chapter 8. Build your recovery protocol like a billion-dollar business plan. Up to this point, you have been convinced. You've accepted the logic. You agree that the grind is a trap. You agree that sleep is an investment. You agree that a fatigued mind destroys your portfolio. And yet, will fail to implement this. You will fail because you are treating recovery as a wish. You hope to get more rest. You hope to shut down earlier. You hope to feel less tired. Let's be crystal clear. Hope is not a recovery strategy. A protocol is a strategy. Amateurs hope, professionals execute. Amateurs see how they feel. Professionals follow the protocol regardless of how they feel. You would never try to build a billion-dollar business on hope. You wouldn't tell your investors, I hope we turn a profit. You wouldn't tell your board, I hope our product works. You would build a plan, a ruthless, precise, non-negotiable business plan. You would have KPIs. You would have systems. You would have processes. You would have protocols. Your personal energy is the single most valuable business you will ever run. Your cognitive capital is your primary asset. Why are you running this billion-dollar enterprise based on hope? It is insanity. It is amateur hour. And it ends today. We are moving you from hope to protocol. You are going to stop hoping for rest and start engineering it. You are going to schedule it, defend it, and execute it with the same ruthless precision you would a high-stakes financial trade. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. You will feel the pull of one more email at 8 p.m. You will feel the addiction to your phone. You will feel the anxiety of not grinding. And you will execute your protocol anyway. Here is your new business plan. It has two core components. Component 1, the Shutdown Ritual. Your workday does not fizzle out. It does not bleed into your evening. It ends. You must build a hard, impenetrable wall between your work self and your recovery self. This is your shutdown ritual. It is non-negotiable. Step 1. The hard stop alarm. You will pick a time, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I don't care what time, but you will choose one. And you will set a daily alarm. When that alarm goes off, you stop. You stop mid-email. You stop mid-thought. You stand up. This is the signal. The workday is over. Step 2. The 10-minute brain dump. You will take 10 minutes. You will not check one last thing. You will take out a physical notebook. You will write down every open loop, every idea, and every priority for tomorrow. You are closing the tabs in your brain. You are telling your mind, it is handled. It is captured. You do not need to grind on this all night. Step 3. The digital sunset. This is the most important step. You close the laptop. You turn off your work computer. You plug in your work phone. In another room. Not your bedroom, not your pocket. The grinder sleeps next to his phone, like a nervous private waiting for an attack. The strategist separates from the machine. The business is now closed. Hope is not a recovery strategy. A protocol is a strategy. This ritual is your protocol. You will execute it every single day. Component 2, the recovery menu. Now the business is closed, you have 3 to 4 hours before your sleep investment. The grinder squanders this capital. He collapses on the couch and calls it rest. He spends 3 hours scrolling social media, watching outrage news, half watching a show while still checking his phone. This is not rest. This is a low-quality distraction. It is consumption. It is stimulation. It is still draining your cognitive capital. It is junk food for your brain. You have a choice with your capital. You can squander your evening on distraction, or you can invest it in high-quality recovery. You must build a recovery menu, a list of pre-approved, intentional recovery activities. Just like you pre-decide your investment strategy, you will pre-decide your recovery strategy. Your low-quality junk menu to be eliminated, endless social media scrolling, dopamine spikes, comparison, anxiety, watching political news, outrage, cortisol spikes, zero control. Checking email/Slack on your phone re-engages the work brain. Your high-quality recovery menu to be executed, a 20-minute walk with no phone. 10 minutes of silence or meditation recalibrates the nervous system. Reading a physical book, single task focus, not a screen. A real, present conversation with your family, connection, not distraction. A physical hobby that uses your hands, playing guitar, building a model, cooking. Light exercise or stretching. When you feel the itch for your phone, you do not resist. You simply choose an item from your high-quality menu. You are moving from a reactor to an architect. Hope is not a recovery strategy. A protocol is a strategy. You will put this in your calendar. 6 p.m., execute shutdown ritual. 6:30 p.m., recovery. Sprint, walk. 7 p.m., family dinner, no devices. 8 p.m., recovery sprint. Read physical book. 9:30 p.m., prepare for sleep investment. 10 p.m., sleep, non-negotiable. This is your new business plan. And when your grinder colleagues or your grinder boss question why you're not answering emails at 9 p.m., you let them. You don't need their permission to execute your plan. Your results will be your permission. Your 10 times output produced in 3 focused hours, fueled by 8 hours of sleep, will be the only answer you ever need to give. That's the key to long-term wealth. It is not built in a state of exhaustion. It is built in a state of controlled, intentional, high-performance recovery. You now have the system. You have the protocol. This is the how. But I know the real reason you will fail. It's not because the plan is bad. It's because you are addicted. You are addicted to the feeling of being busy. You are addicted to the validation of being the grinder. You have the blueprint. But now, you must go to war with your own ego. Chapter 9. Kill the busy ego before it kills your bank account. You have the protocols. You have the systems. You have the truth. You know why the grind is a trap. You know how to build a recovery protocol. You know what to do. And you are still going to fail. Why? Because the real enemy is not your boss. It's not your clients. It's not your 80-hour work week. The real enemy is you. It's your ego. You are addicted. You are not addicted to wealth. You are not addicted to results. You are not addicted to performance. You are addicted to the feeling of being busy. You are addicted to the validation of telling people how slammed you are. You are addicted to the sympathy you get for being so exhausted. You are addicted to the identity of the grinder. Your ego loves being a martyr. It loves being the only one who can do the job. It loves the drama of the 11 p.m. email and the 5 a.m. crisis. Your ego wants to be busy. Your bank account wants you to be effective. And the two are never the same. Your ego is the child inside you screaming for attention. Your bank account is the adult demanding results. The grinder lives for his ego. He checks his email at dinner not because it's urgent, but to show his family he is important. He sends that email at midnight not because it's a good idea, but to prove to his team that he is working the hardest. He complains about his 80-hour week, but he is secretly proud of it. It is his entire identity. He is the busy guy, and the busy guy is always broke. He might make a good salary, but he will never build wealth. Why? Because his ego sabotages every strategic move he tries to make. He knows he should delegate that $10 an hour task, but his ego whispers, no one can do it as well as you. You are indispensable, so he keeps doing it. He stays busy. He stays small. He knows he should take that 20-minute recovery walk, but his ego screams, that is weak. That is lazy. What will people think? They will think you are slacking off. So he stays at his desk, staring at a screen, producing C- work. His ego would rather be seen as a hard worker than as a wealthy person. Read that again. Your ego would rather look successful to amateurs than be successful in private. Your ego wants to be busy. Your bank account wants you to be effective. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. You feel important when you are in back-to-back meetings. But your execution is a failure because you have no time to think. You feel validated when you answer an email in 30 seconds. But your execution is a failure because you just trained someone else to interrupt you with low-value garbage all day. You must make a choice. You can feed your ego or you can feed your bank account. You cannot do both. The strategist made this choice long ago. The strategist has a dead ego. She does not care if you think she is busy. She does not care if you see her working hard. She does not care about your validation. You don't need their permission to execute your plan. And her plan is not to look busy. She plans to be effective. Her empty calendar does not scare her ego. It excites her strategic mind. That space is where $10 million ideas are born. Her out-of-office reply is not a weakness. It is a weapon. It defends her cognitive capital. Her willingness to disappear for a 90-minute deep work sprint is not slacking. It is leverage. She is entirely 100% results-oriented. Your ego is validation-oriented. This is the war. You must kill the busy ego. You must starve it. You must humiliate it. How? You start practicing the most powerful, ego-killing, wealth-building word in the human language. No. No, I cannot attend that meeting. My strategic work takes priority. No, I will not be checking email after 6 p.m. No, I cannot take on that project. It does not align with my primary objectives. This will hurt. It will hurt your ego. People will be disappointed. They are used to your compliance. They are used to you being the grinder who cleans up all the messes. When you say no, you are killing their vision of you. You are killing your old vision of yourself. It will feel like a betrayal. It's not about what you feel, it's about what you execute. Every no you say to a low-value, ego-driven task is a billion-dollar yes. It is a yes to your 90-minute sprint. It is a yes to your 8 hours of sleep. It is a yes to your 10-year plan. It is a yes to your wealth. You have a choice with your capital. You can spend your capital, your time, your energy, and your focus to buy the short-term validation of your ego. Or you can invest that same capital into the assets that will build your long-term wealth. Your ego is a high-interest rate lender. The validation it gives you today costs you millions tomorrow. Your ego wants to be busy. Your bank account wants you to be effective. The grinder is a slave to his ego. He needs to be needed. The strategist is a slave to her mission. She needs to be effective. The grinder builds his identity around activity. The strategist builds her identity around assets. That's the key to long-term wealth. It is a quiet, lonely, invisible process. It is not glamorous. It is sitting in a room, thinking. It is saying no to the loud, urgent party to say yes to the quiet, important work. It is invisible. There is no one there to pat you on the back. There is no one to praise your grind. Your ego will hate it. But your bank account will love it. Your future self will thank you for it. You have faced the enemy. The enemy is your addiction to validation. You have the weapon. The weapon is protocol. You have the strategy. The strategy is to execute. You have now learned to kill the internal enemy. You've killed the myth of the grind. You've killed the biological fatigue. You've killed the ego. You are now ready. You are prepared to graduate. You are ready to stop being a high-paid technician and start being a strategic owner. It's time to put it all together. It's time to make the 10 times leap. Chapter 10, The 10 Times Leap, From Active Grinding to Strategic Wealth Generation. We have reached the summit. For the last 90 minutes, we have been at war. We have waged war against the lies of hustle culture. We have waged war against your biology, your bad habits, and your undisciplined mind. We have waged war against your ego. You have learned the truth. The grind is a trap. Recovery is your highest yielding asset. Your fatigue is a hidden tax on your portfolio. Sleep is your primary compounding investment. And your busy ego is the saboteur that has been keeping you poor. You have been given the protocols, the 90-20 sprint, the shutdown ritual, the recovery menu. You have the why and the how. Now we must answer the final question. For what? Why endure the pain of killing your ego? Why build these ruthless, disciplined protocols? The answer is simple. So you can finally stop being an employee and start being an owner. So you can stop working for your money and start your money working for you. So you can make the 10 times leap. This is the leap from linear income to exponential wealth. The grinder lives on a line. He trades 1 hour of his time for $100. To make $200, he must work 2 hours. To make $100,000, he must grind himself into dust. His income is linear. It is capped by the number of hours he can physically stay awake. He is a high-paid enslaved person. He has a golden cage, but it is still a cage. The strategist does not live on a line. She lives on a curve, an exponential curve. She builds assets. An asset is a system, a product, a piece of code, a piece of real estate, or a team that generates revenue whether it is working or not. This is the entire game. Stop trading your time for money. Start trading your recovered focus for assets. Let's look at two final examples. First, the grinder. He is a freelance coder. He is brilliant. He is the best in his field. He charges $150 an hour. He works 60 hours a week. He grinds. He is exhausted. He makes $450,000 a year. He feels rich. He is not rich. He is trapped. The moment he stops working to get sick, to take a vacation, or to recover from burnout, his income goes to zero. He is not a business owner. He is a man who owns a very, very stressful job. He is 100% focused on active grinding. His busy ego loves this. He is the man. He is in demand. His bank account fears this. Because he is one bad illness away from total financial ruin, his entire model is fragile. Now let's look at the strategist. She was a freelance coder. She charged $150 an hour just like him. But she was not addicted to her ego. She was addicted to her mission, and her mission was freedom. So she used her recovered focus to her 90-minute sprints, fueled by 8 hours of sleep, to stop doing the work and start building a system around the work. For 3 months, she sacrificed her easy $150 an hour income. She said no to clients. This hurt her ego. She used her peak 90-minute sprints not to code for clients, but to systematize her coding process into a repeatable checklist. Hire 2 talented coders for $75 an hour, build a sales and marketing asset, a website, and email funnel that generated leads while she slept. After 3 months of deep, strategic work, the asset was built. She is now an agency owner. Today, she works 20 hours a week, but she is not coding. She is managing her assets. Her 2 coders work 40 hours a week each. That's 80 hours of billable time. Her system bills that time at $200 an hour. Her agency grosses $16,000 a week. She pays her coders. She pays her overhead. She profits $100,000 a month. She makes $1.2 million a year while working half the hours of the grinder, who is still stuck at $450,000. And if she stops working for a month, the system keeps running, the leads keep coming, the coders keep working, the income keeps flowing. She has built an empire. That's the key to long-term wealth. What was the difference between them? It was not talent. It was not the grind. The grinder works harder than she does. The difference was what they did with their recovery. The grinder uses his time off to collapse, to consume, to numb his fatigue. He shows up the next day just recovered enough to grind again. He is in a loop. The strategist used her intentional recovery to refuel her cognitive capital. She then invested that A-grade capital, that recovered razor-sharp focus, into building an asset. Stop trading your time for money. Start trading your recovered focus for assets. This is the 10th times leap. You cannot find the time or energy to build assets when you are grinding 12 hours a day. It is biologically impossible. Your brain is bankrupt. You are too busy working ever to get wealthy. The only way to make the 10 times leap is first to embrace strategic recovery. Recovery is the fuel. Recovered focus is the engine. And the asset of the system, the business, the portfolio is the vehicle that carries you to wealth. You have a choice with your capital. Your ultimate capital is your recovered, focused mind. You can spend it every day grinding for a salary. That is the linear path. Or you can invest it into building a system that will pay you for the rest of your life. That is the 10 times path. It's not about what you feel, It's about what you execute. You will feel safer taking the $150 an hour client. It's guaranteed money. You will feel terrified saying no to that money to build a system that has no guarantee. Your ego will scream at you. Your fear will paralyze you. You must execute anyway. You must choose the asset. You must choose the 10 times leap. You now see the whole picture. The grind is a trap that keeps you on the linear path. Strategic recovery is the key that unlocks your cognitive capital. And investing that capital into assets is the engine of 10 times wealth. You have the blueprint. You have all the pieces. You know why. You know how. You know what to do. You have learned the paradox of rest. The lesson is over. Now, the real work begins. You have reached the end. The choice is now yours. You can close this audiobook, go back to your 14-hour days, and continue to trade your health for a paycheck. You can keep bragging about your hustle while your fatigued mind makes poor decisions, misses opportunities, and destroys your financial potential. You can remain a victim of the grind. Or you can accept the truth. The truth is that your pride in overwork is a lie. The truth is that strategic recovery is not a luxury. It is the engine of wealth. The truth is that your 10 times income is not found in more hours, but in deeper focus. And deeper focus only comes from strategic rest. Your first step in this new life is commitment. Prove it. Subscribe to this channel right now. Do not think about it. Execute. Clicking that button is your declaration that you are no longer a grinder. You are a strategist. Now, here is the challenge. I don't want you to think about it. I want you to act right now. Open your calendar. Schedule 1 hour of strategic recovery for this week. Schedule it like it's a multi-million-dollar deal, because it is. Shut down your computer 1 hour earlier tonight. Defend your sleep like you defend your bank account. Stop being a slave to your work. Start being the architect of your performance. You have mastered the protocol for your internal world. Your next step is to master the external. You must learn to have the difficult, high-stakes conversations that build wealth with your team, your clients, and your partners. Your next protocol is to find our audiobook, The Art of Hard Conversation. Master that, and you become unstoppable. Stop working harder, start recovering smarter, go build your empire.